Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm gonna do my Dragon Ball Super Episode 20 review. So, Dragon Ball Super just ended a short time ago. The new episode came out. A lot of things happened. A lot of information. Episode was pretty much a build-up to what's to come. We're gonna see the reenactment of the revival of F battle between the Hope of the Universe, the number one superhero Goku versus Freiza, Golden Freiza. But getting to this episode, it started off with Freiza. Like I said, Chris's voice is iffy because it's not the Freiza that it's not the great Freiza tyrant voice that we all know and love there. It's a military soldier voice. Decent, but like I said, I prefer the Linda Evil Emperor voice better. Because that's the whole point of Frieza's character, not a stereotype soldier. But we get Frieza. He talks about how he was stuck with the fairies and the bears, which look like Cone from Bleach. Kira Toriyama, I know you did that. They're all friends. They're all friends, though, so it's all cool. But anyways, so he's talking, about, how they wished him back, and they even talk about Cooler, or not Cooler, King Cole, I'm sorry, King Cole's father, and, wishing him back would be a nuisance anyways. Tarloff ends up speaking out of term, there, but, he finally gets the experience why Frieza's feared, because, the commander had said that, he rivaled Doria, but Frieza put him in his place when he talked out of term. And he says, now you could sit down there for the rest of time or whatever, which wasn't true, as we find out later in the episode, because I was trying to figure out if he was going to kill him, because he actually kills him. He actually kills him in the movie, before they even arrive. But it would appear that Tarloff is going to be in this battle, unlike the movie, because remember he got killed right away. Instead, he just got kind of owned, basically, I should say. So we'll see where that goes. Maybe he does end up getting killed, but it appears that he does not get killed yet, at least. So that all happens, and Frieza says that he's gonna train for 4 months. So I'm pretty sure it was 6 in the movie, but of course the movie plot holes are kind of different because Goku and Vegeta were training at the same time Frieza was training during the timelines, but now it seems like they were already training before Frieza was training Vegeta was training for 6 months already, and then Goku started training with him. So that's another 4 months. So it's like there's a lot more months going by in this timeline versus the revival of F movie timeline. So there's that. Also, Goku and Vegeta, they were with Whis. Like I said, Frieza, he decides to train for 4 months, and I think that was about it after that. with all the information and stuff like that that they, got Frieza up to speed to. Um, Goku and Vegeta, they're training, they're sparring with one another, and you also see that blue spark, which is the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which I guess we're not going to get to see until the battle. Apparently they're going to do this whole expense thing, even though we've already seen it in the movie. That appears to see that appears to what they're going for right now. Apparently. So that's happening, and so we got that going on. Beerus actually starts to wake up. He talks to Whis, and how he's been going to Earth and stuff like that, and he wants food. That he got from there, but he lost. Whis claims he lost it, and Goku and Vegeta vouch for him. But then, he's like, "Wait a minute, you've been going back there multiple times." Because I think Beerus realized that because he said Vegeta had been there first, and then Goku, got there second, which means that he'd been going to Earth multiple times. And Whis basically said that he went there to taste test, of all your delicious stuff from Earth. The thing he originally said was that he lost the food, in space or whatever. But, once that whole thing went south, and he said, wait a minute, you've been, going there multiple different times. He came up with the taste testing excuse. I think that was an excuse. There was also a moment too where Beerus sneezed an energy blast out of his nose, which could have easily destroyed Goku and Vegeta unless they had moved out of the way, which they did, and it blew up a moon. I guess it blew up a moon, and he wasn't even trying. And Whis decided not to use the time thing to reset it or do over it. Because it was just a moon. I guess moons aren't good enough to restore, apparently. So there was all that stuff going on. Like I said, you see the blue stuff with the punch with Goku and Vegeta, and it's the sign of the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. It's coming, people. It's coming, Goku. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. He's going to get that power, superhero power up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. It's coming, people. It's coming. So after that, they had the commercial break thing there. And then when they got from the commercial break, you got a spaceship coming down to Earth. Apparently it was a time skip because apparently it was 4 months later. But you get the spaceship. It's Jaco from the Time Patrol people, their group there. He's there. He meets up with Kid Trunks and Gotenks. There was a Japanese symbol, which no one could freaking read unless you're Japanese, which I thought was stupid on Funimation's part. It should have been translated in English. That's very lazy on Funimation's part because I don't know what it said. I'm assuming it said Jaco in it, but I don't know because, once again, Funimation had to be lazy and not translated in English. English dub, but, we're going to put it in a Japanese symbol. We're not going to translate it because we're lazy. Very pissed off at Funimation for that. Very cheesy by Funimation there. It should have been translated. No excuse. Should have been translated. Something as lazy as that. Something as simple as that should have been translated. Don't tell me they didn't have time. They had enough time to do that. He gets out of the spaceship. Says he needs to speak to Bulma. And Kid Trunks like, "What do you want with my mom?" Kid Trunks is like, "Wait, she's your mom," and stuff like that, and and all this stuff, whatnot. They talk for a while before finally getting Bulma there. Bulma talks to Jaco. Still don't know how Bulma had time to talk to Jaco there, but considering the fact during the Saiyan saga, she didn't even seem to know about all these other planets outside of the actual planets in our actual real world solar system, since she didn't know where Namek was, but somehow she knows this alien. Also, the Kid Trunks and Gotenks were really funny because they they thought it was a costume. Jaco's, and he was like, "No, this is my skin. This is not a mask." And they pulled the recorder, the communicator thing on his covering his ear, and Gotenks pulled it on accident, thinking it was an ear. So apparently he thought that was an ear, but everything else was a costume there. But that apparently wasn't, according to Gotenks. Like, Gotenks thought the ears were real, but the face was a mask, and the arms and the legs were not, apparently, according to Gotenks. So yeah, he says that's a communicator and stuff like that. So they talk to Bulma, and they keep bringing up the conversation, about the time machine and stuff like that, or the time patrol. Talks about Frieza there, and then he says he needs to speak to the person who defeated Frieza. Good news, as he says it originally, which I think was kind of dumb. That's not good news as all, people. But he talks about so two people. First says future Trunks. He's like, that's a felony offense. Like, you were really gonna do anything. So then after that comes out of there, then he says, well, the second person was Goku, but he's training on Beerus's planet right now, and he doesn't believe it because he thinks Beerus is a myth. You're supposed to be a time patrol person, yet you don't think that Beerus is a myth. Come on, people, come on. But anyway, so he doesn't know who Beerus is, or he knows who Beerus is, but he thinks Beerus isn't real. There were, like I said, this episode had a lot of things added to it because it was all condensed into one episode, but there were a lot of things that were from the movie that they used. Frieza earlier in the episode mentioning Majin Buu, that he should not, King Cole had told him, stay away from Buu and Beerus. Because Goku had defeated Majin Buu. So there was that. You got all that different stuff, with Goku, and they had the little similar scene, I think, from Revival of F with Goku and Vegeta. On how they, got to the planet, Beerus's planet. That was a similar thing there. But getting back to the episode, you got Bulma then talking to Jaco about what's going to happen. And eventually he says, Frieza's back, and he's got 1,000 men that are going to, conquer the planet or whatever. And this was the warning. And he was like, it was like, well, how long? A week, a day? How long? And Jaco was like, about an hour. And it was like, Bulma was like, about an hour? What kind of warning is that? He was like, what kind of warning is that? He's like, I don't know, I'm going to get out of here now. And so then Gotenks and Trunks were in the spaceship, Jaco's spaceship, and they sank it underwater. And Bulma was like, "What did I tell you about playing with that stuff?" So there was that. Then Bulma comes out with an ice cream thing, strawberry ice cream thing there, like she had in the movie, trying to get Whis to come back so he can get Goku and Vegeta back on the planet there. Um, didn't seem to work, at least for now. Um, so that was happening, and then you got Frieza with all his men now. Like I said, Tarlock was there as well. Standing there, so it appears that he isn't going to die. Which again is kind of weird there. I thought he was going to kill him, but I guess not. Or at least he's not killing him in space, like he does in the movie. But so there was that. um, a lot of different things going on. The setups. Then there was the thing with Krillin. Bulma actually called Krillin first, and Krillin was like, "Really? Like an hour?" And then 18, they did a little mini skip for 18, giving Krillin his fighting clothes, and 18 was like, "Don't you want me to come with you? I'm still stronger than you," which she is. Um, but 18, Krillin was like, "Well, someone needs to look after Marin," so that wasn't happening. So Krillin, basically, then Krillin, said there is one thing you can do, and then that's when Krillin gets his hair cut by Android 18. 18 cuts the hair off, makes it bald again. He's like, "Yeah, looks like the old days." And so then he powers up and then he flies away. And then after that, you see Tien, you see Piccolo, Gohan, everyone coming. I believe Piccolo, or actually Krillin was also at some point picked up Master Roshi because he was on his back because Master Roshi can't fly. You'd think they would teach him by now. If Del can learn it, I'm sure Master Roshi could learn it. Based on that whole, method Gohan did to teach Fidel how to, fly. I'm pretty sure Master Roshi could learn how to do it. Since he has Ki because he uses the Kamehameha. So yeah, there was that as well. So, a lot of things happening. So it's basically the build-up setting to it. Piccolo notices at first the red thing, which is the spaceship coming down. And so this is where it's going to happen. And then that was the end of the episode. So the next episode, I'm assuming Goku and Vegeta will get to the planet, and hopefully introduce officially their new form, even though we already know about it, and they already show Goku doing it in the theme song at the end there, like the nostalgia of the Dragon Ball Z where Goku's in the middle showing powering up the Super Saiyan and stuff like that. So yeah, that happened. So yeah, that's the episode. Solid episode. Only problem I had really with this episode was the laziness on Funimation's part to not show the English or not translate that Japanese text into English like they should have done. That's the only thing I'm very pissed off about because yet again, Funimation just not doing what they're supposed to do. A very simple thing, just a very, very mute thing, and you can't put it in English. Just kind of ridiculous to me. This is an English dub anime. This is a dubbed anime. Okay, we're dubbing this in English. It should be treated that way. Like I said, you need to translate that stuff so people can read it. So yeah. Um, like I said, the way to watch this is on Adult Swim or Adult Swim Toonami, or on their stream service, which I have linked in the description box, as well as the communities for the Dragon Ball Z English dub, as well as the Dragon Ball Super English dub, which is just for that, may I add, the English dub. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about this. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video or any of my other videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. Very good episode, like I said. Very happy with it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.